When you hug me, I kinda get aroused just thinking about your lips touching mine. As you work your way down to my breast, licking, sucking, and kissing. And I patiently anticipate you entering my chamber as my lips blossom with the juice of sweet nectar and my belly bursts fragrant of desire. My spine tingles with each thrust you take inside me. When the pressure and heat builds in my vaginal walls, I become like a volcano, ready to erupt at the height of my orgasm. Oh! No one, my dear, has ever come close to this love you inspire. You fill my soul with so much joy. For you, my dear, are my heart's desire. Oh, oh. Welcome to Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch. I am Jackie, and I'm here with my two co-hosts,
Colin
and Melanie.
Today we have a very exciting topic for you, but we're going to probably start with the topic from the last week, and then we'll go into our new topic. Our last discussion was masturbation. And so I just wanted to open the floor up on the masturbation side of it. And last week Melanie presented facts, fun facts as she calls them, with the percentage of men to women, and the percentage was 68% of men masturbate and 32% of women masturbate. And I thought those numbers were conservative, but then I guess it depends on the group that the study was was presented to.
And I have to agree, but this is the crazy part. The crazy part was when you guys started responding, you guys sided with Jackie. Okay, so you agreed that the numbers they should have been a little higher than what they were. And if you guys don't mind, I'd just like to point out just a few of them.
Sure.
All right, so this is from readers and viewers. Now, Nathan says, I think the numbers are high, especially regarding to women. So he also said, basically, because there's a bigger lesbian population, that the numbers should be a little higher. And I thought that was interesting. That was very interesting interview. So what do you guys have to say about that?
I would say in terms of, I thought the percentage for women was really low.
Okay.
And that's just based on my circle of friends.
Okay.
So as far as the men, I thought that was low too. But then in talking to a few men, I am actually surprised that there are some men that don't masturbate.
Okay. Now, if you guys remember or don't remember, let me just say that Jackie brought up a very good point. Last time we got on Colin because Colin said that he did not.
That's right, I know.
And he never had.
Never tried.
And we were like, yeah, right, with Apollonia. Who else was out back in the day? Vanity.
Yes.
We were like, oh, hell no. Right, Pam. Yeah, and he said he didn't. But a lot of men agree with him, and I was surprised. I was surprised. So one comment that I did get, and this is from Eli, who is my spouse. Okay, so just bear with me. He said he never had the desire because he always had a female companion. So, and I'm like, man, I'm saying that like, really? And I'm thinking about Colin and what we all thought about Colin.
Right.
And I'm like, really? Then I had to think about the man that I was talking to. And I'm like, okay, well, he never did. So, okay, Colin, so you got one other dude on your side.
Let shouting out, Eli. Appreciate it.
That's funny. But give your explanation, because I thought you made a very valid point about why you don't.
Well, I never felt the need to or the desire to, because to me personally, it's a mental thing. You have to be there mentally to carry out that task. And pleasing myself, when we last spoke, I likened it to trying to tickle yourself and make yourself laugh. I mean, can you do it? I don't think I can do it. I mean, I don't think you can do it either, but you know, to masturbate, it's a mental, you have to go somewhere mentally and to convince yourself that, you know, you're being pleasured as if you were with a woman. And so, you know, I never tried it, never had a desire to. So that's just my perspective. And, you know, and I respect, you know, everyone's position.
Yeah.
Whether they do or they don't.
Now, one thing that I didn't get, and I'm not surprised, we didn't get a lot of women who would even say anything. Okay, so I'm not surprised simply because this is taboo. This is an area that is taboo. But, you know, we really hope that with other topics that women will chime in.
I think it's a matter of being put on Front Street.
Yeah.
Some of those that said no, they may or may not, but to actually expose themselves like that, it's kind of, I don't want anybody to think bad of me because I do it.
Yeah.
And I think so for the ones that said no, I just think that they didn't want to expose themselves. My hope was that because we are having this discussion, was that people would be honest or forthcoming.
Yeah. But it didn't happen. So, what are we doing?
Move on.
We move on to the next topic.
Move on. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very brief break, and we'll be right back.
All right, cut. Perfect.
Comments from viewers. G. Palmer from Facebook wrote, very interesting session on masturbation. Percentages are higher on both sides though. Copy this link. This viewer's interview will blow your mind. EB stated, I think that masturbation is a subject that should not be talked about in the open forum. However, I have never had the desire to masturbate simply because it's the job of my partner.
Bush fraud, and the question is, do you masturbate? And if you do, why? And if you don't, why not?
Yes, I do. And the answer is because can't no one please yourself more than yourself. You gotta get to know yourself. And that's just a way of getting to know yourself.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool. You heard it here, folks. G. Bushrod is in touch with himself. Anything else you'd like to add?
Nope.
All right.
Troy sent the email stating, I believe that the only sin of sex is incest. No matter if you want to have orgies, gay sex, heterosexual sex, or sex with yourself, it's all good. Mike stated, I'm so glad y'all are having these conversations. Love that y'all are funny and open. I really like Jackie's openness about her sexuality because it shows that she is free no matter what others think. Can't wait to the next one. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, and that is at Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch. And we are now on Blog Talk Radio at Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch. You don't want to miss a show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch. I am Melanie, and I'm here with my co-host, Jackie.
Colin.
And Colin. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have other comments that people left, okay? But instead of sitting here and reading them all, we're just going to post them so you guys can definitely read them. So today, we just want to definitely give a shout out to our host, our host, the host with the most. And his name is Aaron, and he is the owner of Echo Lounge. And Echo is located at 9036 Liberty Road. So if you guys want to come up, please join us. And that's every fourth Sunday at 4 o'clock. You can also reach out to us via Facebook, and that is at Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch. Now, with that little tidbit of information, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment. So, Jackie, what do you have for us? I'm excited, guys.
Okay, folks, I have a very hot topic for you today. It's called Tantra, and it is as hot as it sounds. So I'm going to ask my co-host, have you all heard of the term Tantra?
No.
I'm slightly familiar with it. Yes.
What have you heard about it?
I heard it's very enjoyable. That's pretty much it. Slightly. So I'm gonna let you go further into it.
That is absolutely correct. It is enjoyable once practiced. Tantra is the art of conscious love. And by that, it's having a spiritual connection with not just yourself, you know, if you're in a relationship with your mate. And the way of doing that is, let's say as a couple, and you're sitting front and center with your mate, and you're staring into your mate's eyes, and you all are breathing each other's essence. And with that being said, you're actually opening yourself up to receive that next level of sensuality and spirituality together. With Tantra, you learn to control your orgasm so that you and your mate can reach that climax at the same time.
Okay.
Now, Jackie.
Okay.
Now, you're teaching us something. You're educating us, and I appreciate it. However, I don't know how to control an orgasm.
I'm sorry, I can't.
And it takes a lot of practice.
I try to think the ugly things, nasty things. Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
And that's okay, because we're here to learn. So it takes time. It took me a long time actually to get to that level. But once you master it, and it is basically just about the meditation. The meditation, you're opening your mind so that you can receive that that love connection with your mate. And the way to control that orgasm in your mind, once you've aligned yourself with your mate, it is all about the two of you coming together to reach that. So if you know that you're going to, I guess, pre-ejaculate, you're looking into your mate's eyes, and your concentration should be focused on that person so that you're not releasing.
So you're saying just the interaction.
That interaction right there, you all are one in that moment. And so, you know, if you reach your climax before your mate, then your job is probably not done.
So is it a certain method or way that you practice?
Right,
getting to that level?
Yes, and what I recommend for people when you're first starting out with it, just try something simple. You can sit on your mate's lap or have your mate sit on you. And all you're doing for the first few minutes, you're just looking at each other's eyes. You are breathing each other in. And there's no communication but the look in each other's eyes. Because you know they say the eyes are the window to the soul.
Yeah.
But if you all aren't looking at each other and just touching each other, because you're sitting there holding hands with this person.
Okay.
And that in itself is making that intimate connection.
Okay.
So
okay. So I mean, I'm not gonna practice here, but I guess I have to practice that because,
I would suggest practicing with yourself first, which kind of takes us back to the last topic when we discussed masturbation. Because I'm just going to say for women especially, it takes a while to open ourselves up. And you can be in a relationship and still have some things that you hide from your mate in a sense.
Sure.
That sounds pretty deep. It sounds very interesting. From a male's perspective, you know, men, it don't take us that long to get revved up. I mean,
we know this.
We hop in the car.
But we're a team. We're a team, so we got to work together.
Right. So I guess that is something that men, you could be or put more thought into with your spouse to develop that next level of intimacy with her. Trying to look into the Tantra, or the area of Tantra, and see where it takes you, which will lead us into our next segment, which is sensual touch.
Right.
Touch.
Touch. You have to be touched in the right places.
Right.
I think that often we don't realize that our skin is our largest erogenous zone. And that's because of the thousands of nerve endings contained in the skin. With that being said, just imagine your skin as your art canvas. So if you mastered that canvas, ooh, the orgasms would be cataclysmic.
I like that word. Say that again, Jackie.
Cataclysmic. I just get chills.
All right.
All right, so with that little bit of information, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very brief break. We'll be right back.
Erotic taboo, sensual touch. Erotic taboo, sensual touch. Touch me, kiss me, squeeze me, hold me. 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 Erotic taboo, sensual touch. Erotic taboo, sensual touch. Erotic taboo, sensual touch. Erotic taboo, sensual touch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch. Now, Jackie just got finished talking about Tantra, and I have no knowledge of it. Colin, you have mid-grade, and she's the boss lady. She's the boss lady, so if you guys have questions, definitely, direct them towards Jackie. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some fun facts. I love my fun facts. Alright, so the first one is there are about 5 million touch receptors in our skin. And that goes back to what you were saying about the skin being the largest receptor. And I thought that was very, very interesting, especially when we talk about touch.
Right.
Because that's important. That just tells you that touch is very important. The second one is a touch of any kind can reduce your heart rate. Okay? And I had to think about that one because, okay, I'm thinking sexually. So sexually, I'm thinking, okay, my heart is going to get pumping.
Speed up your heart rate.
Right, exactly. But I had to also remember too, like, when you come in the house, you might have had a rough day and your sweetheart says, hey baby, and gives you a kiss, whatever. And that can kind of like, bring it down. So it's like two different zones as, that's what I call them, two different zones. One is sexual and one is non-sexual. And the last one is touch stimulates the release of endorphins. And endorphins are natural painkillers. Now, what the hell? I must have missed that in science.
I think we're all missing it because with our busy lives, sometimes we don't take the time to go that extra mile. A simple touch is healing. That's the thing that I love about Tantra is because it is healing and spirituality combined. Just imagine the power of touch. If you came home from work and your wife grabbed you, hey baby, I'm just saying.
I just responded to that.
It's something so simple, and I think that we're missing the boat on it because we're so busy.
Right. I think that nowadays, touch and touching each other is kind of becoming a lost art per se, given the technology that we hold in our hands. We're touching that more than we're touching each other.
Wow. Now think about that, because I think you're right. I literally am on some kind of device, a large part of my day.
Right, so,
and I'm being real.
Right, so if you really think about it and really put some real thought into it, think about how often you don't touch your children or your spouse.
Wow.
You know, how often are you hugging someone and giving them a kiss or just playfully touching each other? You know, those areas of touch are different areas that cause you to respond differently and most likely positively to touch, because we are human and we feed, thrive, and grow off of touch.
We need that. Especially women. We feel disconnected when we're not getting that level of affection from our mate. And then that disconnect spills over into other areas of our lives, and we become kind of discombobulated, right, and feel unappreciated because we're not getting that sensual touch or that connection with our mate. So if we take the time just to do something simple, it'll definitely impact your relationship for one, and it'll spill over into other areas of your life. But you have to start somewhere. You can't just be, I'm too busy for that. I have the children to take care of. I have to cook. I have to pay the bills. Because at the end of the day, you're so stressed out that even when you're intimate with your mate, you can't fully enjoy it because you're thinking about all the things that you have to do afterwards.
Right, so basically what we want you to do, for those that are watching right now, whoever you're watching this with, turn to your right or to your left and touch whoever you're watching. Give them a hug, a high five, a caress.
Just rub on them, just rub all over them.
And then you can thank us later.
Thank us later. And I wanted to add to that because we are busy. We're extremely busy in today's society. And I tell you what, like I told my husband, I'm like, look, damn it, I'm here. I'm here.
Quality time. That's what I say. Quality time.
Right. I'm here. I'm here.
Right.
What we gonna do?
Right.
What we gonna do?
The last thing you want or don't want is for somebody else to touch what's supposed to be touching. So,
right.
fellas.
Right. It's important. And I think too, the fellas will enjoy it.
Absolutely.
As well.
Men, we feed off of that. We definitely like for our women to touch us as well. You know, we are human. We are all human, and we definitely like and enjoy to be touched in a sexual way or in a non-sexual way. Again, a hug or a kiss, but just anything is a welcome.
I think that we always are focused on the sexual way, the sexual touch, and that's the problem with us.
Society.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything always has to be sexualized and overly sexualized when it doesn't have to be.
Yeah,
and I believe that's what separates us often from our Caucasian counterparts, because they are so much freer often than we are, because we're always thinking about the day-to-day. I have to do this, I have to do that, and we just feel like we don't have time to go that extra mile, and we're just thinking sex, look, I just need to get this off right now, and that's it. You're not always going the extra mile because of time. So we have to make it a priority because it'll definitely improve our relationships.
Now, Colin, I wanted to ask you something. Since you are the only guy on the panel.
You don't have to say it like that.
He's the only guy.
Yes.
But I just want to ask you, how does it feel when your wife touches you? How does it feel?
Well, I enjoy it. I like to know that she cares to touch me, and it's received properly. I'll give you, to be honest, I had to grow to that stage though.
Okay. I'm glad you said that.
I'm being honest. I'm being transparent. So I had to get to that point because when I was single before I got married, I didn't focus on that. I didn't look to receive that from people that I dated and was seeing.
You were looking for the sex.
Exactly. That was it. So that wasn't important for me. It wasn't important that I get a hug from you or you hold my hand or something like that. It wasn't important. So now that I'm married, I look forward to it. It's important in our relationship. I give it as well as she gives it, and we're happy from it. So
that's awesome.
That is.
That's awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, we're going to take a very brief break. We'll be right back.
When you hug me, I kinda get aroused just thinking about your lips touching mine.
as you work your way down to my breast, licking, sucking, and kissing. And I patiently anticipate you entering my chamber as my lips blossom with the juice of sweet nectar and my belly bursts fragrant of desire. My spine tingles with each.
Hello, and we're back. And I'm going to actually share a personal experience of mine that I had with regards to sensual touch. Now, being a licensed massage therapist, I worked in a salon for about 4 years actually. And I remember working with a couple of different couples, but this one couple in particular, the wife was sitting in the chair and I was massaging her husband. What I didn't realize how powerful touch was. And he had a happy ending. It blew my mind because I had no idea.
Well, for those that don't know, what is a happy ending?
A happy ending is I brought him to an orgasm. Not that I was trying, but it was just that power of touch. He was stressed out because they were actually planning their wedding. I was embarrassed because I had no idea what just happened, but in that moment I knew that I wanted to learn more. If I could impact that couple, and they were like one of my best customers, because she wanted to know what happened. And I want to know too. And I will tell you, it was something so simple. I had there's a brush that they use to do perms, and I just used that brush, and I had the oil on it and was just going over his stomach. And when I got to his nipples, I took the brush over and over and over, and he was asleep, mind you, but at the same time with that brush, the touch of the soft brush, it brought him to that level because he trusted me, for one. And two, his wife was in the room, and he could just let everything go because he knew that it was in good hands. Yeah, but I was so embarrassed, like, oh my God, I did this. But it just opened me up to want to learn new things. And from that point on, I've always researched different things with the power of touch because it is healing at the same time. And when you think about the sexual act, it's just not about that orgasm. It is about a different level of consciousness and love. I think we miss the boat a lot of times because we make it just about that orgasm.
Right. And we have to get educated.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's the lack of education for us. And that's why we're here, so that we can open you up to experience new things. Because it isn't just about the orgasm. It's about the entire, you're opening up. Right, exactly.
Outside of the sexual aspect of it, it's definitely a form of communication.
Exactly.
You are communicating with your spouse, your partner, non-verbally, and to reach those different levels of climaxing, you're communicating with each other, and that's a good thing actually, and that's something that you should want to learn how to do if you love the one that you're with.
And I think too, people have to, that mindset has to change.
Of course.
And that's the big issue. Your mindset has to change. You have to be willing to want to get to that level. Because I'll be honest with you, I think if you get to that level, that's a scary thing.
It's very
because
scary,
you completely, like you guys said, just open yourself up to whatever. You're like, oh shit, what did I just do?
But how many of us ever think about when you are naked, you are at your most vulnerable?
Yes.
You just shed your skin.
Yes.
So you have to learn to embrace all your imperfections, because as women, we are really hard on ourselves. Very critical. Yeah. And to me, it's like the first thing that you should do, if you ever have a chance and you're open enough to do it, stand in front of a mirror, butt naked. Look at yourself. Touch yourself, meditate, and just take in your body, take in your view. If you don't love your body, how can you possibly expect somebody else to love it? If you're constantly critical of your imperfections, how can you open yourself up to receive
the touch from
exactly
someone else?
that is our problem. We are so inside of our head and about how we look that we miss the boat on experiencing that, this is my favorite word, cataclysmic orgasm. I mean, like before, when we go to break, I'm going to leave you with this question. How many have ever experienced a whole body orgasm?
Don't look at me. I haven't. I haven't. I don't know what that is. What is that? You want to explain that?
I'm going to explain that when we come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Damn, Jackie.
Yeah, I asked that question because I know that a lot of people have not.
I want to know if you charge extra for the happy ending. That's what we only trying to figure out.
Well, my question was, and this one now, and I know you say, well, you made this man have a comment, and you was kind of embarrassed.
I was very embarrassed. Because
So let me ask you, I guess a couple of days later, have you ever thought about, damn, I got gifted hands?
which is why I ended up learning. I wanted to know more because I didn't realize how significant touch was. So I said that if I had that kind of power, just imagine as I kept learning things, how it would be and how I could help other people achieve that. Because at that point, I had no idea what brought him to that level. And then I was younger, so I think I probably was a bit immature about it. You know, and I really was embarrassed. I was just like, oh my God. And she was looking at me, but she was okay with it. I was the one that was, no.
He wasn't trying to go home with you afterwards.
No, actually, and that's a valid question because Colin and I just had this conversation about when you are massaging someone, oftentimes it's misleading because people feel like they've connected with you because it is a transference of energy, and then they begin to think that you're interested in some kind of way, you know, and so it could be dicey because, let's face it, a lot of people are not touched like that.
Well, I know one thing. When I get a massage, I'm totally stiff, and I mean that. I will not, because it feels good.
You
but
want
I'm
to
like,
No, you're really receiving it.
no, I'm not.
Because
I'm not. And I'm being honest, no.
So why? Why do you feel this?
Because it shouldn't feel that good. Especially, I'm looking
You
at
said
it.
it shouldn't feel that good?
Not when you have another person feeling on you like that. That's what I think. You know, because I'm like, if I let myself go,
Keep going.
if I let myself go, I'm gonna be gone. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Wow.
And I'm scared of that. And I'm being honest, I'm scared of that. Especially, you know, you're in a massage parlor and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna kick back. And I'm like, the whole time thinking, the whole time.
Instead of relaxing.
Instead of relaxing, and I think that happens for a lot of us.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
So close it out.
Yeah.
Or close out the segment.
oh, okay.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, as I've asked, how many have ever experienced a whole body orgasm? I'm guessing that number is probably low, but we're going to close out this segment and I'm going to actually do a live Tantra demonstration. So stay tuned. Great.
Even though you don't want to, does it always lead to sex?
No,
I don't think it
I wouldn't
has
say
to,
it does.
no.
I wouldn't say it.
Why not?
All touch. Not all touch because it depends on what you're doing, who you're touching, who's receiving the touch. Not all touch can lead to sex unless you are with that person that has that intent. I mean, if that intent is there, then yes, that would be the goal. But if we're sitting here together and if I start touching her in whatever way, you know, it couldn't, I wouldn't necessarily say it would lead to sex. It would depend on the situation, the circumstances, and the person. That's
But doesn't it always end up leading to sex though? I mean, in some kind of way, except for her.
Yeah. She turns into a 2x4.
Right. Just like,
No.
Okay, great. I just wanted to.
well, I promised you a live demonstration of Tantra. My mate, he's a little shy, but I'm just going to give you some basics. And what this does is connects us before we go to that next level. So could you look at this, Nikki? Okay. So oftentimes I start with the hands and I do this circular motion here. And it's so simple, and he's supposed to be gazing at me, but he's not because I think he's a little shy. But we're looking into each other's eyes, and I need you to take some deep breaths. And then, so also what I'm going to do is just a light effleurage up his arm. And he should be taking deep breaths, but again, he's shy. But we are gazing into each other's eyes. And just something simple like this, especially around this area and the hands, it connects us, and it kind of relieves the pressure of him, I guess, overthinking it, because he's just focused on this rug. And I take my hands and then I go down his fingers like this. It's not him that's getting hot. I'm kind of getting hot. It's really simple, guys. You all can do this at home. You can practice on your mate. It's really simple. This leads to, normally I would go up his whole arm, just doing an effleurage motion. Working my way down to his fingers, because again, our skin is filled with nerve endings.
And then also too, I think it's about taking your time too.
It is taking your time. That's one of the benefits of Tantra. It is a deeper connection with your mate. It teaches us patience, because we're not rushing. We've separated ourselves from the sex. And in separating ourselves from the sex, it opens us up to experience the whole entire intimacy connection.
Which is important.
Which is very important.
Yeah.
And you can make time for this.
Right.
You know, it just takes a couple of minutes of your day just to, and it shows your partner how much you appreciate them.
Right.
I always end off with us holding our hands. And then I'm just standing here looking at him, and I'm breathing him in. With me. Take a deep breath.
That's so romantic.
And I'm getting turned on.
Uh-oh.
We'll get them a room as
We
soon as
gonna roll up. We gonna
Yeah, because my erogenous zone is kicking right now.
So I think
We're gonna go to break. But what I want you to really focus on, if you don't have time to do just his shoulders or even his head, you can massage his temples, because that is where we carry our stress oftentimes. And you have no idea how this eliminates so much pressure. And as you can see, I'm not really firm. I'm just gliding my hands around his temple.
it's very relaxing.
It's
too.
very relaxing.
And if you guys can notice, Harold is like
He's falling asleep,
mesmerized.
actually.
Yeah,
He's falling asleep.
yeah.
So simple. If you could just do this, it would make a difference in your relationship.
Yeah.
Believe me.
The power of touch is
We've
powerful.
been married for 24 years.
Wow.
So, and I'm crazy, and he's still here. So.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right
Go to
back.
break. Yes.
You're watching.
And you're watching Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch.
Cool. Okay, great. It's all about branding, right?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch. We gotta wrap it up because Jackie is a little hot over
Can't you see the sweat just rolling off? I mean,
she's ready
I
to
done woke
go.
some
She's
things
ready
up.
to go. I think the hotel is down the street, y'all. So we gotta definitely wrap it up. So you guys, thank you so much. What do you guys have to say?
Jackie?
Okay, well, I'm trying to get myself together after that sensual touch moment. But I definitely, if you pay attention to our Facebook page, Erotic Touch Sensual Taboo, I'm going to be posting some facts that you can use in your relationship, some basic massage movements that you can use on your mate, and some intimacy tips, because we are all missing the intimacy in our relationship. We have to make the time to connect with our mates, because that's what it's all about.
It is.
And you have to open yourself up spiritually to be able to do that. And last but not least, I want to say you have to learn how to love your whole body. If you can't love you, how do you expect that man or woman to love you?
Excellent point. So I'll be in class. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be in class to practice all these things and everything, you know, but yeah.
So if you have any questions, any comments that you'd like to share with us, visit our page, Facebook page, Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch.
Yeah.
Leave your comments and questions, and we'll pull one of them to air on our next episode.
Yeah.
Until then, stay tuned for our next topic. We'll keep you in suspense.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Jackie.
And I'm Colin. And this
is
Erotic Taboo Sensual Touch.
All right, and cut. In and out, right?